Hey,
Thank you
Felix.
guys so much for the opportunity to talk about this fascinating, incredible series. Let me congratulate you on such an amazing series. So let me start with you, Mr. Kessler. And one of the things that blew me away was the balance between the world of fashion, the horrors of war, and the tone, specifically the tone, the intrigue, thriller kind of aspect at least during the first half. So tell me about that specifically, the tone, the thriller aspect. Was that thought out from the origin of the project, or was that something that you were during the process?
Well, at the origin of the project, which really goes back to 1997 when I came across the story of Christian Dior and launching his first collection in 1947, it was the 50th anniversary. That's the origin of it. So it was to get into the history, but then in figuring out how to tell an entertaining story and try to remain as truthful as possible to actual events. It's not a documentary, it's meant to be an entertainment. It felt like there was a great storytelling potential to actually try to convey to an audience the aspects of what it might have been like to live during the occupation. And so that's where the thriller comes in, because the stakes are life and death. But that's a storytelling aspect that hopefully none of us will ever have to actually live in our real lives. But and they did. So it was very easily adaptable into that kind of storytelling.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So, Mr. Di Bonaventura, your filmography has primarily focused on the action, horror, comedy genres. What captivated you about this specific story to decide to get involved with the project?
Well, we were very close friends who eventually decided we were silly not to be working together, and Todd brought up this idea, and the second he brought it up, he was talking about a few ideas he was chewing on. I was like, do that, because I had the experience. Two things, I think. One is I'd had the experience of doing three movies about real stories and real people, and the challenge of that is really significant and also incredibly rewarding when you get it right. And then when he brought up Dior, I think it's the power of fashion today is at it. It's more than it's ever been in a way. It's just permeated our. So I found the combination of this powerful force in our world today, and then looking back at the people from then as a combination of something that I think would be both great entertaining and also vastly entertaining for ourselves to engage in.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So, when we see stories or projects that say inspired by real events, we can deduce that creative liberties were taken. What part of the story was created for dramatic effects?
Well, we held ourselves to a very high standard, that there was more really incredible stories that we weren't able to fit into the season and the series, that there was no benefit to fully create moments because there was so much great storytelling. So we really tried to honor the spirit of those stories, and we would then craft stories that would be combinations of different events to convey the experience that the characters may have gone through, because it was impossible. It's not a documentary, so we're not showing everything, but it was very important to us to bring the audience along in an entertaining way that's emotional and thrilling, and to have it be very much grounded in the actual history.
But in any true story, the biggest thing is the dialogue is what you do create, And so where the amount of research that Todd did was so phenomenal that you can get to the point where you kind of understand the voice of the character, of the person, the real person. And therefore the dialogue has an authenticity, even though no one can know exactly what was said at those times.
Excellent. Thank you. One last question. Tell me about that first scene between Juliet and Glenn Close. You have worked with Glenn Close before in Damages. So that first scene they're together for me was like chef's kiss.
So it was really thrilling to have Glenn join us in Paris and portray Carmel Snow, who is this iconic fashion editor from Harper's Bazaar, and then to pair her with Juliet. It was deeply inspiring, and they both did a lot of research on their characters, and then brought their brilliant artistry and talents to bringing these people to life again. And so that's a story that's, truthful, that Carmel Snow went to Switzerland to visit with Coco Chanel, and that they had known each other for a long time. And so to recreate that moment was just incredibly special, and really, I think, honors both women in Coco Chanel and Carmel Snow to choose Juliette Binoche and Glenn Close to portray them.
Excellent. My time is up. Thank you so much for
Thank
such an
you.
incredible project, and congratulations again. Thank you.